You are listening to The Thought Leaders Show with the world's cutting-edge, hottest innovators, influencers, and impact makers today. If you are looking for inspiration and motivation, listen in. Welcome to The Thought Leaders Show. Now, here's your host.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer. If you're tired of being the lowest paid employee in your business, working your butt off, today is your chance to transform that forever. If you love what you do, but hate the long working hours every day, you're in for a real treat. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Lise Gottlieb, known by many as the eCommerce Queen of Denmark, helping business owners and entrepreneurs to take their business to the next level. Lise Gottlieb teaches business owners how to simplify their business and increase sales and profits to enjoy massive results without being overwhelmed or stressed working all day long. Now listen to this. I got some insider information about Lise from some of the people who worked with her. Tina says, Lise is probably one of the most skilled and structured persons I have ever worked with. She has a unique ability to convert technical solutions into business benefits. Lise is a very extroverted person with a great networking talent, and on top of that, she has a warm and nice personality. I really liked working with Lise. Neil says, she added a 0 to my income today just by watching her. Lise Gottlieb, watch that name, and whatever she does, be part of what she's doing. You're going to love it. And I'll just put a little bit of the Tammy touch in here. I actually got to work with Lise recently and hang out with her on both a professional and a personal level at Harvard Faculty Club. So these people are telling you the 100% truth about what a wonderful businesswoman Lise truly is. And also, Lise worked for more than 23 years as a winning top sales awardee at companies like Oracle and Deloitte and Touche, and she only dealt with senior executives. She left the corporate world and she's put her skills to the test as an entrepreneur. In just 4 short years, Lise created a multi-income stream home-based business with 2 toddlers in tow. Lise is the undisputed expert on how to make big money doing what you love. Welcome, Lise Gottlieb.
Thank you very much, Tam. Thank you so much.
I really did enjoy spending time with you at Harvard. And I want to tell a little aside here. Lise and I were actually invited to be on a TV show in Boston called Thrive. And I was in the control room with the producer, and she was introduced as the eCommerce Queen of Denmark. And he said, "Is that the Queen of Denmark?" And I just loved that because Lisa's presence, she does come off as royalty. And this man thought that the Queen of Denmark was right there in the studio in Boston. So that was so great. So tell me more about that. How did you earn that distinction of being the e-commerce Queen of Denmark?
I think it has something to do with, first of all, I received this award at Harvard about e-commerce. And I think the combination of me coming from a country where we actually do have royal people, we have royal family, and that I was the first woman who got that award, and it was the e-commerce, then I think the whole combination ended up with that I must be the queen of e-commerce of Denmark.
I love that because you have such a diverse, high-level background and you took all this high level business training and took it out from the real world into the what I call the virtual world. So tell me a little bit more about how you help people and what were you talking about at Harvard?
I was talking about this formula that I have created that is actually called the Power eCom formula. And the Power eCom formula is a system that I have created which has three components. And the one component is the Power Shop, and the other component is the Power Product, and the third component is the Power Market. And I'm working with these three areas with any business that I work with. And first of all, I am looking for the low-hanging fruit. And so if the low-hanging fruit is in the market, then we work in the market and see if we can optimize that area and increase sales and profit. But I think that the formula, the unique about the formula is that it actually has a very scientific approach to the market and to the product and also to the shop, because I analyze the market, I analyze the product, and I analyze the shop. So everything in the whole flow for any e-business or e-commerce shop owner is undergoing some kind of a scientific approach analysis where I found out what are the best doing. We look at the best in class and we try to steal from them, copy from them, learn from them, model from them. So we get inspiration from the best. And we put it into each single business I work with to find out where we can optimize.
So could you work with any type of business, or does it have to be a physical product?
No, it can be any kind of business. So I think e-commerce is actually just to exchange, you can say money for goods. If the goods are services or tangible or intangible products, it doesn't really matter. So my customer can actually be just a simple website with a single product and a single little button where it says buy, and then the customer has to press the button and deliver some payment so the seller can receive, and the seller will send them an email, for instance, with a downloadable product. So simple can it be, and it can be also very, you can see high leverage, because some businesses have very complicated sales processes and very complicated mix of product. And that is also what I look into. Sometimes I simplify the product structure, and that alone can give a huge benefit. So I say that the businesses I work with, they are selling something online. And if they are offline businesses that are really not present online, then I can help them with that part to be online and maybe sell some of their goods or services online.
So have you found that, is there any business who can't benefit from being online in your experience?
I don't really haven't seen anything yet. Because I will say, even if you're a very local business that are selling something very simple, like if you're selling maybe ice cream or something where you say, okay, it's very dependent on the weather and the people who pass by the shop, I still think that you can via your marketing influence your local area, and they will go to your ice cream shop and not another ice cream shop. So no, I think that any business can benefit from doing something online.
So how long does it take to, when you start working with someone with your power formula, to analyze it and help them, to actually start making more income?
Normally we will see improvement in sales and profit already after 2 to 3 months.
So 60 to 90 days. And what do you typically recommend? Like if you were to give me a little snapshot of a typical the 3-point your Power Econ formula, what might that look like in an online environment?
A typical thing will be that the products they have, they are too many, or it simply confuses the buyer when they enter the website. There are too many options, and it's not totally clear what they are offering and the price structure, and so often it's simplifying around the product. And regarding the shop, I will say that many times it will be a little analysis on the page where the buyer comes and see what they actually do. We do something like a heat map where we can actually see what are visitors doing, where do they come, where do they press, and when do they leave. So we want to have everybody comes onto the site actually to opt in some way. You need to have their name, you need to put them on a list with their email address so you can market to them later on. So that will give you more benefit for your marketing investment. So it will give a higher ROI. So therefore we need to make it simple on the website. So we collect the email address and have the lead. And then we need to make it, the purchase process, can we optimize that one? If you are selling, if you have a real shop where you sell a lot of stuff, you can offer them discounts or buy two, get one for free and that kind of things, because it really increases the amount of the order each time. So it's also an area we work a lot with. How can we increase the value of what's in the basket, in the shopping basket?
So,
and yeah,
go ahead. I was just going to ask you about the list. The reason is because in my experience, often you tell people, hey, you need a list, and they'll get this look like, I can tell they don't know what I'm talking about. So maybe, because I really want you to provide some value in our conversation, so maybe explain a little bit about the power of a list and what that really means in simple terms.
It means that you are getting leads in your business, and the leads, they will deliver their email, maybe their name. And if you have this list, every time you have something you want to promote or some news going on with your business, your products, or whatever it can be, you can always tell these people that now we have this new product, or now we are launching this, or I wrote this article, or the press wrote this about us. And now you will get this kind of a little tribe of followers who actually begin to engage with you, because they begin to get to know you. They begin to learn your voice, the way you talk with them, and they start to some kind of bundle with you. I think there is some kind of a rule that says that you have to actually present something for the lead 7 times before they buy from you. So if you are doing some kind of marketing and the people you show it to doesn't buy, you shouldn't get depressed. You should just say, okay, that was 1 time, and then do it again, and that was 2, and you had to count to this 7, a little magic number, but I think it's around 7. And then they begin to actually think, oh yeah, now it's her again, and oh yeah, I also thought about it, and so on. And then you begin to have the snowball, or what you will call it, where they actually begin to be loyal to you, and then they will begin spending money.
I think you're right, because it takes repetition, and again, no like trust factor. That's what a lot of people call that now. And with the people that you've helped, like for example, you mentioned Tina was really excited about working with you. Can you talk a little bit maybe about what it was that you did for Tina that changed her entire business?
Actually, she was a blogger, and she had a blog about some mommy stuff and things for toddlers and that kind of things. And she didn't sell anything. Sometimes she promoted some kind of affiliate product, which means other people's product where you can get a tiny commission. But she never had her own product. So what we did was actually that we used this loyal tribe of readers that she actually had. We used them in some kind. We did analysis with them, asked them a lot of questions, and from that we shortlisted, I think, 16 products that they were interested in. And from there we shortlisted again, and then we took 10 products and tested. And so these 10 products, we found them in China. And Tina was very afraid that she had this good reputation and she wanted to deliver high quality. So she was afraid that maybe these China products were not good quality. So we had to do a little test within her environment. And they know they were testers to see if the products were okay and if they liked them and how they felt about them and so on. So, and from these 10 products, we then shortlisted down to 3 that she actually put in and have in her shop. And now they are very good selling, all 3. And we are right now working on white labeling them so she get her own brand. Wow. And that is the ideal. That is where you want to go, because then you are building an asset. Of course, her tribe is an asset. And her shop is an asset. But when you have your own brand, you can actually sell your brand one day, and then you have a much, much higher value.
Right. Well, that's a really good example of how you analyze a situation, and then you actually took her from having a blog that was not making money to having a real, not only a product line, but having a real business that someday she could sell because it has real assets. What about Neil?
Neil, he was actually one of the things we did with him. We did many things together, but one thing that I think was very interesting was that we actually I helped him write a book. And because we talked about how to leverage your status in the eye of your customers. And I have a lot of experience with the books. And I said to him, you should have a book, because when you present yourself and the other one comes and present themselves, then you can put a distance to them, because you will be the authority, not just an expert, because they're all experts, but you will become an authority because now you have written the book with the 10 questions that customers need to ask before they invest in that kind of business. So that was a funny thing we did. And he was very surprised that it was not that hard to make the book, and he was surprised that first of all, he think, oh, can I become an author? Because he didn't think of himself like that. And it gave him a lot of credibility when he created that book.
Well, I absolutely agree that writing a book and using it to create your status and credibility, because if you can write a book about something, you obviously know something about that topic. Now, you have written... It's some phenomenal number. How many books is it that you've actually written?
I think it's 43.
Oh, my goodness. 43. Yeah. That is phenomenal. I would put you up there. And they call people with a lot of domains domainers. So I don't know what they call it, someone with a lot of books. But I would put you up there as somebody who is a prolific author. And the beauty of that is you have that really solid background, because you know how to produce information that other people are interested in. And I think that's what makes you really shine with your expertise, is that you've done it. You know, there's a lot of people out there who they provide services, but they haven't actually built anything or done anything. And you actually created your business while you had 2 toddlers in tow. Now, how in the world did you do that? And how did you develop that? I think our listeners would be very interested in kind of that idea, because a lot of people, you know, they're taking care of children, or maybe they're taking care of someone else in the household, or maybe like our introduction, maybe they're just sick and tired of working so hard. So maybe talk a little bit about your own experience with that.
Yeah, I think that I will admit that I got help. I didn't take care of my kids all along when I was working. But I was able to have my office at home, and I was able to be there when my kids were awake and when they needed me. And it has been a very high priority for me to be here when they come. Now they're both in school, but when they come from school, it's very important for me to be around. So when they arrive about 4 o'clock, then I'm finished and I'm with them until they sleep. Maybe I go back and work again later after they are in the bed. But that's a very good way for me to prioritize my time so that I have a lot of hours together with them. I'm with them in the morning. I walk them to school, and I am around always. I know all the friends, and they can come and have friends here without I don't have to change anything just because they are around and they come with their friends. And that has been super important for me to do that, because I realize how fast time goes when they grow up. So I will not sit with the feeling that when they are 20 years old and they move from home that, oh, I wish I had spent more time with them, because I am spending the time with them.
That's really cool. So when you created your business, you have multiple streams of income. How do you, if somebody's looking at how to develop an online business or even an offline business, but to get multiple streams of income, do you have a criteria that you look at?
I will say that during my time, there have been lots of test and error. So that is also some of the things they get when they work with me. They don't have to do the same mistakes that I have done. And I have been selling physical products for a long time, and I had actually I spent a long time with products that were not that profitable before I really cracked the code and find out what was the profitable products. And I think that most people would probably have given up. Because if you spend a lot of money and you buy maybe inventory and you do all the things where you set the whole thing up, and if you don't see the profit, will you be willing to do everything again? You have more knowledge now, but you will take a new chance with another product. Most people won't. Yeah. And I think that is probably why I ended finding something that was actually profitable, because I had the mistakes and the failure, but I said to myself, no, and I have so much knowledge now. I know so much about how to brand it, how to set it up, how to do everything, how to drive traffic. So I cannot just give up now. I felt I was so close to the goal, so I had to move forward. So I think that is one of the secrets. And another one is that you have to be willing to invest. If people think that they can build a business without taking any risk or without investing, they are mostly mistaken, because you have to do marketing. I mean, if you have a shop and you are located in a high street with a lot of traffic in front, some people will drop in. Eventually, somebody will come in no matter what. But if you have a shop online, nobody will come in unless you invite them. And that's important to understand, that marketing is a key driver to income in this business. So when you hear a lot about free traffic and all that kind of things, of course there are free traffic, but there's a saying that cheap is always more expensive. And I will say free traffic, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, and maybe you will run out of cash or something else before the free traffic begins to pay off. So I will highly recommend that you invest in traffic, invest in marketing, get people to come to your offers. So that is a cost that you have to calculate within when you set up the budget for your business.
And that's what you do. Is obviously you've already spent years developing the methods and learning the pros and cons of which traffic that works, and you know that everything has to be tested, and you know which sites are good to spend your money on. So today, do you use a lot of, say, Facebook advertising or Google AdWords, or even Amazon advertising. I know that, I mean, literally you can do all kinds of
Yeah.
paid traffic. Do you do a
Yeah.
combination of both paid and organic traffic? Or do you have a secret sauce?
I do primarily use Facebook marketing. So Facebook advertising, that is what I do. I have been doing Amazon advertising too, but I cannot make it as cheap as I can with Facebook. So I use Facebook even to drive them to Amazon.
Ah,
And yeah, and I will say that Facebook is, it's some kind of dream, utopia for marketers, because there have never ever been that much information about that many people. So no matter what you're selling, they are in there. 2 billion people are in Facebook, and they are decision takers, and they have money, they have credit card, they have mobile phones. So they are the customers, they are the market. So there's hardly no chance that your buyers are not on Facebook.
So wait, am I accurate that you can work with people who are service-based, professionals, and who may have physical products to sell?
Yeah. Yes.
So if I wanted to work with you, what would that look like? How would we work together?
If you have, for instance, if you are shop owner, if you have an e-commerce store where you're selling physical goods, then I have a coaching program where I teach lessons. I go through every part in the process and I teach them, and you set it up, and then we have a coaching call where you can ask questions and we can discuss your shop and I look at it and so on. So that is I have calculated to be 8 modules, so 8 weeks normally. Of course, we can continue afterwards, but after 8 weeks, you are through all the theoretical stuff, and we have had the coaching calls, and everything is set up and ready. And you are making money at that time, because we start, I think, after third or fourth module, you are selling.
Oh, cool.
And you don't need necessarily to invest in a stock in goods. We drop ship, so investment is pretty low in that area. So most of the investment we spend on marketing.
Oh, that's really interesting. Or what if, like me, I don't necessarily have physical products. Well, I have some courses, but I have services. So how would you work with me? Hint, hint.
Yeah.
But if I am a service provider, what would that look like? Is it similar?
I will say that first we take a strategy session, because I need to understand your business and I need to understand where your strengths are and the weaknesses. And let's say now you're selling a lot of services and you're training people. So I will make sure that you are training not just one at a time. So some of it I will probably see if we can optimize with a course where you do group coaching and group training and so on. So you have made a lot of people on the call and everything get recorded, so you can keep on selling it and selling it. So after a period you are not teaching anymore, then you're just coaching. That would be an area where we could look at your services. And then I would probably we could take a look at the website and see how are you presenting it. Is it easy for customers to understand what services you sell and what they cost and what they get and so on. And then we can look at what customers are the ideal customers. Which customer are you very happy for? Where do you think they spend the money without complaining, and they think they get a good quality and service for the price and so on? And then we look for more of the same category.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting to me, because I know you've written books on crowdfunding, social media marketing, and also a bunch of health books too. So you're very diverse in your knowledge base. But this concept of it's so hard to imagine when you think 2 billion with a B people, and that Facebook really has made it so that you can pinpoint the exact customers and know it's almost like you could run odds on whether or not they're going to buy from you. And that's what you help with, because you've got that insider knowledge, because you've already done all the trial and error as Facebook has developed over time. So that's really, really cool. So if you, if we want to work with you, how can we get a hold of you? And I know that since you're the e-commerce queen of Denmark, you probably have some irresistible offer for everyone. So let me hear about that.
Yeah, I will suggest that people go to my website. It's lisegottlieb.com. And if you go into the site, inside the website and find the page where it says product and services, I have there a range of product. I think I have 6-7 products that is from bigger to smaller ones. So there it says if you want to work with e-commerce, or if you want me to help you scale your business, I call it from $0 to $1 million. Or if you need me to help you make a video or something like that. So the services are in there. And so you can see some of the programs that I offer that are fixed. And there's also another tab that's called Coaching with Lise. And if you go into that one, you can fill out the form. I think there's 15 questions about what you're doing. And then you book a time in my calendar, and then we have a strategy session, and we work it out from there.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. And you can work with people all over the world. You're headquartered in Denmark, but you can easily work with people in the United States or wherever they may be, because absolutely. I know you also are willing to travel because I know you came to the United States recently, so I know you're willing to travel. And again, I listened to your speech at Harvard, and I was just like, wow, because you really are someone who you've got the process, the plan, and that makes it so much easier for entrepreneurs, because one of the things that most entrepreneurs have is they've got an idea and they've got enthusiasm, but sometimes they don't know the step by steps. And like you said, you've already made the mistakes and you never gave up. So now you've got a formula. Yeah. So that's really phenomenal. So again, tell everybody your website address again, and how people can get a hold of you.
Yeah. Go to my website. It is lisegottlieb.com. And then you go to the page, Coaching with Lise. You can also just say, Coaching with Lise. That is also one. But I have a simple one, Coaching with Lise, but lisegottlieb.com. And then you go in there and you book a strategy session with me.
Okay, great. And again, Lise, I really, really appreciate you coming on the show today. And I really enjoyed meeting you in person. And I feel so fortunate that I now know the e-commerce queen of Denmark, which is so cool. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tammy. It has really also been a pleasure to get to know you. And I love the days we had together. And I love to be on your show. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
You've been listening to the Thought Leaders Show. To get all past shows and to get all future shows, go to thoughtleadersshow.com.